Let me ask you something honestly. If Alexander Graham Bell had stayed silent, if he had said, "I'm not ready yet," if he had said, "My voice is not good enough," do you think the telephone would exist today? Think about that for a second. Right now, you are watching this video on a phone, a laptop, or a screen that only exists because someone decided to communicate before they felt perfect. And I want to ask you directly. Why are you still silent? Why do you still hesitate when you need to speak English? Why do you freeze when someone asks you a simple question? Why do you say, "I understand English, but I can't speak"? I'm not asking to judge you. I'm asking because I was there too. Most people think the invention of the telephone was about technology. Wires. Sound. Machines. No. The telephone was about connection. Before the telephone, people waited days, weeks, months, just to send a message. Letters were slow. Distance was heavy. Silence was normal. Then one day, someone said, "What if we could speak and be heard instantly?" That moment changed the world. And today, English is your telephone. English is not a subject. It is not grammar rules. It is not exams. English is your connection to opportunity, to better work, to confidence, to people outside your small circle. But here is the painful truth. You are still living in the letter-writing era. You wait. You delay. You overthink. You say, "I will start when I feel confident. I will speak when my grammar is perfect. I will try when I have more time." And days pass. Months pass. Years pass. Tell me something. How many years have you already wasted thinking about learning English? Be honest. 2 years? 5 years? 10? Life does not wait. Time does not care about your fear. The biggest lie you tell yourself is this: "I still have time." No, you don't. You only have now. And I know exactly what is happening inside you. You are tired. You feel behind. You feel embarrassed. You feel angry at yourself. You watch videos. You save posts. You subscribe to channels. But when it's time to open your mouth, you close it again. Because you are afraid of sounding stupid. Let me tell you something clearly, like a big brother would. You already sound stupid in your own head. Silence is not intelligence. Silence is fear. When the telephone was first invented, people laughed at it. They said, "Who would talk to a box?" They said, "This will never work." But progress does not ask for permission. It moves forward anyway. Your English will never improve if you keep hiding. And no, the problem is not your accent. The problem is not your vocabulary. The problem is not your memory. The problem is confidence mixed with comfort. You are too comfortable staying quiet. And too scared to look bad for 5 minutes. Let me ask you a deep question. What hurts more? Making mistakes for a few months? Or staying stuck for the rest of your life? Because here is what nobody tells you. People who speak good English were not born confident. They were born willing. Willing to sound wrong. Willing to be corrected. Willing to feel uncomfortable. Just like the first telephone call. It wasn't perfect. The sound wasn't clear. But it worked. And once it worked, it improved. Your English works the same way. You don't improve first and then speak. You speak first, and then you improve. But you don't want to hear this, right? Because action is uncomfortable. Excuses are comfortable. You say you don't have time. But you scroll for hours. You say English is hard. But you never practice speaking. You say you are shy. But deep inside, you are just afraid of judgment. Let me be very clear with you. No one is coming to save you. No teacher. No course. No perfect video. This video is not magic. It is a mirror. And right now, I want you to look at yourself honestly. Where are you avoiding growth? Where are you choosing comfort over progress? Because the world is moving fast. Communication is faster than ever. And if you cannot communicate clearly, you will always be behind someone who can. Not smarter. Not better. Just louder and clearer. This is not about becoming fluent overnight. This is about breaking silence. This is about using English as a tool, not a test. In the next part, we are going to talk about the biggest mistakes people make when learning English. The habits that keep them stuck for years. And the simple mindset shift that changes everything. But before we go there, I want you to sit with this feeling. That quiet discomfort. That realization. Because change starts when denial ends. So tell me. Good. If you're still here, it means something inside you is awake. Now let's talk honestly, no motivation, no drama, just truth. Most people don't fail at English because they are weak. They fail because they follow the wrong path for too long. Let me explain. The biggest mistake people make is this. They try to prepare forever instead of using the language. They collect rules. They memorize lists. They watch video after video. But they don't speak. That is like learning how the telephone works. But never picking it up. You know the grammar rules. You understand videos. You can read simple articles. So why can't you speak? Because English is not knowledge. English is a skill. And skills are built through usage, not understanding. You don't learn swimming by watching videos. You learn swimming by entering the water. You don't learn driving by reading a book. You learn driving by sitting behind the wheel. But with English, you keep standing on the side. You say, I'm not ready yet. Let me tell you something uncomfortable. You will never feel ready. Confidence does not come before action. Confidence comes after repetition. People who speak well are not fearless. They are familiar with discomfort. Here is another mistake. People think English learning means studying like school. Books. Tests. Marks. Pressure. That mindset is killing your progress. English is not an exam you pass. English is a tool you use. Think about how the telephone spread. People didn't wait to learn perfect pronunciation before calling. They spoke. They adjusted. They improved naturally. Now let's talk about fear. Fear of mistakes. Fear of being laughed at. Fear of sounding less intelligent. Listen to me carefully. Mistakes are not your enemy. Avoiding mistakes is. Every time you stay silent, you train your brain to fear English more. Every time you speak even badly, you weaken that fear. Fear grows in silence. Confidence grows in exposure. And no, your accent is not the problem. Accent means you have a background. Accent means you have a story. The real problem is hesitation. You pause too much. You overthink every word. You try to translate inside your head. That is another big mistake. Stop translating. English is not Urdu, Arabic, or any other language with English words added. It is a separate system. When you translate, you slow down. When you slow down, you panic. When you panic, you freeze. Instead, think in simple English. Not perfect English. Simple English. I want this. I don't understand. Can you repeat? I need help. This is how communication starts. Now let me give you something practical. Here is a simple system that works if you respect it. Step 1. Reduce input, increase output. Stop watching 10 videos a day. Start speaking for 10 minutes a day. Talk to yourself. Describe what you are doing. Explain your thoughts out loud. It feels strange. Good. Growth feels strange. Step 2. Use English daily, not occasionally. Once a week is useless. Once a day is powerful. 5 minutes daily beats 1 hour weekly. Consistency builds identity. You stop saying, I'm learning English. You start saying, I use English. Step 3. Accept being bad on purpose. This is important. Tell yourself. For the next 3 months, I allow myself to be bad. No judgment. No shame. This removes pressure. Pressure kills fluency. People who improve fast are not smarter. They are less afraid of looking stupid. Now let me say something very real. Your environment matters. If everyone around you speaks your native language, your English muscles stay weak. You need friction. English content. English thinking. English speaking even alone. Make English part of your life, not a special activity. And stop lying to yourself. You don't need more resources. You need more courage. You already know enough to start speaking. You just don't trust yourself. That trust is built through action, not motivation. In the next part, we will talk about transformation. How discipline beats talent. How consistency changes identity. And how you can finally stop feeling stuck and start feeling capable. This is where things become real. So tell me, if you are still listening, I want you to understand something clearly. This moment matters. Not because of me. Not because of this video. But because you are finally paying attention to yourself. Most people live on autopilot. They complain, they delay, they repeat the same year again and again. You don't need talent to change. You need discipline. Talent looks impressive at the beginning. Discipline looks boring, but it wins. The people you admire didn't wake up confident. They woke up consistent. Now let me show you how transformation actually happens. Not in theory. In real life. First, stop waiting for motivation. Motivation is emotional. It comes and goes. Discipline is quiet. It stays. Make a simple rule for yourself. I speak English every day, no matter what. Not 1 hour. Not perfection. 10 minutes. When you are tired, 10 minutes. When you feel stupid, 10 minutes. When you feel confident, 10 minutes. This builds identity. You stop being someone who wants to improve. You become someone who shows up. Second, speak before you think you are ready. Read that again. Readiness is a lie your fear tells you. You don't get ready and then act. You act and then you become ready. Use broken English. Use simple sentences. Communication is not beauty. Communication is clarity. Third, track consistency, not fluency. Fluency is a result. Consistency is a decision. Mark your calendar. Day 1. Day 2. Day 10. Momentum changes how you see yourself. You start respecting yourself again. Fourth, stop comparing your beginning to someone else's middle. Comparison kills confidence. You don't see their early mistakes. You only see their current level. Your journey is private. Your progress is personal. Focus forward. Now let's talk about confidence. Confidence is not loud. Confidence is calm. It comes from knowing you tried today. When you practice daily, even in silence, your brain starts trusting you. Fear loses power. And suddenly, one day, you speak without freezing. Not because you are perfect, but because you are practiced. That is transformation. And here is something important. English is not just about language. It changes how you see yourself. When you can express yourself, you stop feeling invisible. You speak up at work. You apply for better opportunities. You stop doubting every word. You don't become arrogant. You become grounded. Now let me be direct. No video will change your life. Only decisions will. This video can inspire you for one night. Your actions decide your future. So here is your simple action plan. Starting today. Speak English for 10 minutes daily. Stop translating. Accept mistakes. Be consistent for 90 days. That's it. Not 10 apps. Not 5 courses. One habit. And finally, let me say this. If you feel lost, tired, or behind, you are not broken. You are just undisciplined. And discipline is a skill. Skills can be learned. You are closer than you think. You don't need to become someone else. You just need to start being honest with yourself. If this message spoke to you, like this video. If you want guidance that respects your intelligence, subscribe to this channel. And tell me in the comments honestly. What is stopping you from speaking English today? I'll see you in the next video. Stay consistent.